Hello, this is Vivian, and today is June 28th, Wednesday. I have not made many videos because the first full week of this month I was in Florida, and this is why come June and July the garden and all my projects get away from me, because I travel and do stuff and have other obligations, and the birthday season comes in. Yesterday was my son's birthday. And anyway, this year, normally what happens is I get overwhelmed, and it just, I just let things go, manage what I can manage, and try to do some salvaging come harvest time. This year, I'm trying not to let things overwhelm me. I am going to try to get things caught up as far as I am capable of getting things caught up. Here's the chestnut tree that was split in half, and it's doing well. I lost a couple of my kiwi plants up on the top part. Thought I'd show you some other stuff here. These are called tent caterpillars. I think I'm going to cut this off and burn it. Ugh. Because they'll come out and they'll go everywhere. I'll tell my husband about this. I just noticed it today. You see the totes I've put out. These buckets originally had the zucchini and cucumber plants in them, and they had died, and they were covered in squash bugs, stink bugs. And I took a black trash bag and I put it over the container and then pulled the plant out with most of the bugs. And I thought I would use these. I'm going to transplant the watermelon plants into these. But as you can see, that may not be a good idea. Now, I just did this yesterday. Hey, something's buzzing. But you can see the beginning of the June bugs that had been in there, and some stink bugs, and millipedes or centipedes. I get them confused. Anyway, these big ones are falling apart. I got these at auction really cheap. I would not go and do this with new containers. I got like 6 of them for $3. So I'm going to drill some holes and let it drain out, because I'm not going to try to tilt that. I'll probably tear the container apart, and then figure out some way to reinforce the sides. But this size seems to be doing well. This size and smaller isn't buckling on the ends. But I'll drill some holes, let it drain, and put the watermelon plants. I got 4 of them that needs transplanting. I'm thinking about keeping one in the bucket just to see how it does, because I don't care about the plants getting big. I just want the fruit, and I don't need to have giant watermelons as long as I can get some to ripe. In the past, it's the inconsistency in watering where they'll split, because they don't get watered much, and all of a sudden they get water and then it's too much, and then it splits. Here's the other big one I have, and I think I may just go ahead and not use them for planting, because I guess that's not a big deal. The plants won't care. I don't know. I'm debating. And some more here. A lot of June bugs. All those grubs, that's what they are. That down in there. Now these are those sun jewel melons that I grew up eating. They're small. They look almost like a honeydew. Skins are, it's easy to peel it and then eat it. So they're already blooming. So I'm going to definitely use these totes. I'll leave the 2 of them in the buckets, and then I put some in here, 3, and these aren't, these are, I guess they rooted themselves. I just tossed them to the side, and then I'll put one of those triangle cages up in here. I'll let them grow up on it. Now this table, in another video I told you I paid $40 brand new, bought it at Lowe's, and I got another one at auction for $11. So I'm going to let this empty. I'm going to get the stuff off, and I'm going to put it over there near the door, and I'm making a salad bed over there. I'm putting the green onions over there so I can have easy access, just come out the door and pick. I know it's not that big to come around and get it from this side of the house, but I just wanted to, because it's there, I remember to use it. And I just put a whole bunch of, these were old seeds, the okra and sunflowers, and they're all coming up. Let me show you the ones I transplanted. So here's okra in the buckets and 3 sunflowers, 3 each. And I'm going to move the herb garden toward that side of the house too. So I know that I'll just keep an eye on it. Just one of the rosemaries, I'll keep the other rosemaries here. I need to transplant the thyme into their own little containers, and a bunch of dill came up, but not all of them survived my month-long neglect. Between my husband watering, and then I just came out here and watered and did some. I finally got some more dirt onto the beds yesterday, so I hadn't done that all this month. And that one I'm not covering with more dirt. I just let it be. And then, as you can see, I still got buckets down there I need to deal with and do something with. But I had to get those other plants because of all those squash bugs. When those plants were completely dead and dried out, they'd migrate to something else here in the garden. So that was partly prevention as well. These were all curled up and wilted looking yesterday. Today they're nice and beautiful. I'm going to harvest them and dry some more. And same for the sage. They're doing nicely. Eggplants. I'll be having them for dinner tomorrow. There's 2 on that one and 2 on that one, and then blooms on all of them. Not doing too great on the tomatoes. So definitely, I hadn't noticed any hornworms in a while, but just keeping them watered. And that's the one that I just keeping it updated, keeping you updated. It's I don't think it's bloomed at all. That's the little sucker I pulled off of the plant next to it. But see? Look at that tomato. It's covered with something I don't like. I'm not sure what to do with them and how to deal with them. Now the figs, I got to get these put into new containers, into their own little grow containers. The ones that are rooted, and the ones that are dead, I'll put this into probably put herbs into these containers and use different containers for the ones that are growing, just in case there's something there. I'm not sure. And I'm trying to get this new strawberry wall going, and I got some stones to weigh down the runners, but just getting a little handful about every other day or so. It's nice. And I'm putting strawberries on both sides of this wall, so they'll be front and back and have a wall of strawberries. That's the goal right now. I don't know if that'll be the end product. Cilantro, which I managed to kill that were inside, are doing well from seeds here, but none of my chives came up, or my basil, which is like the easiest things to grow, right? Now, I know that's ginger. I'm sure those are weeds. And I think the ginger survived in just 2 of the ones from last year. And none of my fennel came up, or my lavender seeds. Or they did while I was gone and died before I got back. And something has just eaten the heck out of that comfrey. But I really need to find a spot and just plant it in the ground and let it just go. Let it go wild. So these I need to... See, these are nicely rooted. Look at that. Another run, it's trying to root there. But that, I can cut this and now move this plant, but this is producing a lot of runners. So I'll put that over there into that wall. And I thought I cut the runner off from the mother plant too soon and thought that was going to die, but it survived and it's been there most of this month like that. So it's gonna live. So I gotta clean all this up. I gotta figure out a good way to cut, mow, something. And me coming here with a swing blade, I can see me damaging my plants I want to keep. And I've moved all but these chestnut trees over here because some weren't getting enough sun. And that one I just pulled away because I'm not sure if it's something wrong with it or if it's got something that I don't want it to infect the other plants. The roses and apple tree rootings, not a success, fail. So that's these buckets will be reused. Now here's my perilla seeds from 4 years ago. Yeah, 2012. So that's 4 years ago, or 3.5 to be technically correct. But I need to transplant them into their own containers. Now here's the purple perilla seeds that my friend gave earlier this year. Or was that last year? Things are really blurry. Anyway, so I've got some of them transplanted, and those two didn't take, they died, and the rest of them seem to be doing okay. This is, I don't know what it's doing, but it seems to have rooted down there too. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know it could do that. So it was like this one, where it was leaning over because it was all leggy from being crowded in that bucket and not being transplanted on a timely schedule. And this one, yeah, it rooted itself over there. That's good to know. See, you learn. And I usually learn from my mistakes. And fortunately, I've been blessed that some of my mistakes had turned out good. Now these are white potatoes that were volunteering, and I put them in, and again, all of these got 2 of those buckets. Yeah, these are the 2 buckets I was using, and just went to the pile over there where you see the shovel handle and filled them up, and I put 2 buckets on that mound, 2 buckets on that mound, 2 buckets into that trash pail, and 2 buckets into here. I probably could have done more in the trash pails and more on the beds, but I just had to hit what I could hit, and then still get in and get dinner cooked for my son's birthday. And I carved a watermelon cake. Oh, maybe I'll throw that picture in so you can see what I'm talking about. And I transplanted some of the okra into this tub just to see. And once the tubs are filled, they're not being moved, and not by me anyway. So this is going to stay here. And all these vines, I need to just cut back these vines because I don't want them running everywhere. But again, if I get time and do it. But the leaves are edible. The stems are edible. The vine probably is edible too. I just give that to the goats or to the chickens. But yeah, some of these are rooting. And this is my compost pile that I'm using to fill up the containers and do more buckets. I got 6 more buckets. Those big ones. Those are all 5 gallons instead of the 4 gallons I was getting from a local seed here. So I need to transplant into these buckets. I want to grow some of the perilla in the big ones. I want to get some of the herbs to the other side of the house. And oh, let me show you my salad bed. Okay, here's the table I got for $11, and I'm going to move that over and just kind of block this and kind of use a little storage. But the other salad bed, the original one, I'd harvest like half of it, and then the other half got real leggy and just went over the sides and cascaded. It looked kind of neat, but went ahead and harvested that last week, what was harvestable, and the rest I gave to the chickens. Took the whole thing, and they tore it up, and now that bed's ready for reuse. But I think this was my last mixed salad seed packet that I used in here, and even though it's almost July, I am going to start planting kale and spinach. And I'm not going to worry about them bolting because I'm going to harvest them while they're young for salads. So I got lots of spinach and kale packets, so I know I can do that. Whoops, didn't mean to pull up the whole thing, but it's just nice and tender and easy. But I'm going to put the onions, the green onions up here, and some buckets of perilla. I may still collect the seed from this red leaf lettuce that had grown in the volunteered in the bucket, and save them for another time. I still plan on making a bed with this, but that's going to take a lot of fill, and I'm already starting to feel like I'm running out of stuff, but I've let this become a catch-all over here, and I've got to stop that. But working on chicken project, that's another video. Anyway. And the witch hazel are doing great. Look at them. But I would like to get them in the ground somewhere, just as soon as I know where. The kiwis all started, when I transplanted them, I put them in 1-gallon buckets. And that's the last one that... yeah, I think that's the last one that was in the 1-gallon bucket. Anyway, they seem to do better with a little bit more root space. I'm going to put them all into 5-gallon buckets. And I still need to figure out what's male and female. That one is starting to twine around the apple tree here. And I don't want that. Sorry, I need to give him something to grow on. And those are obviously doing well. It looks like it's got a jasmine. Oh. And this one in the 5-gallon bucket is doing the best. But I've been trying to build an arbor of hog wire panels, 16-foot panels bent over into an arch, and train these up on 4 corners of it. As soon as I figure out which one's a male. I still do not have an identification for this plant, this tree. And it's gotten bigger, about doubled in size, and I'm not sure if this means it's ripe. It's not soft. So I'm still learning. Look, it's very thorn. It looks like thorns, but it's not really. You come on it hard enough, I guess it will hurt. So trying to identify this still. Not sure what it is. So I need to find where my push mower, manual push mower, no gas needed, just human power, where it is. Maybe I can just roll it around here. I don't mind quiet things, or using a scythe or a swing blade, but just don't use that near the containers. And try to get things back in order of some kind. The trees are doing great. The chestnuts, I think I lost one, or maybe losing that one right there. And gave away 2 already. Rehomed them. And I got some service berries, seeds, that I want to plant. I need to plant and put them in containers. I'm going to just put them in 1 bucket. Or then again, maybe knowing how I've not been doing things timely, maybe I'll put a seed into a bucket and leave them alone. That way I don't have to worry about transplanting for quite some time. It's already after lunch. And we went blueberry picking at a farm. I had a good time with the grandsons. So I still need to wash them and get them put away so that they can be frozen or cooked with. Or just eaten. We joke about pooping like a Smurf because it's how it ends up. I know, bad image, but that's the truth of the matter. If you eat too many of those things, especially when you go picking and you're tasting every other one that you're picking. And the co-op that I belong to is the first and third Saturday of every month. So the next one's coming up, and we had to defer it and just say we got to skip this one and do the next one because we're ending up with too much produce here that we're not eating up. The chickens are enjoying it because we're not getting to them in a timely manner in the house, even because we're running out of refrigerator space. What a complaint to have, you know. We got too much food, things are going bad. That sounds so stupid, but that's the truth of the matter. We're now getting a lot of produce here. We don't need more salad greens from the co-op because we're getting fresh ones here. That the quality is just amazing. I took a container, the big clamshell plastic containers like you find at Sam's Club or Costco's that has the organic mixed lettuces in. So I filled one up that I had used and cleaned, and you know, it's labeled organic, all this stuff. And I took it and said, this is what I harvested from my garden. And they were just amazed. They're like, it's just the taste, because it was like, I just picked it that day. You know, that morning I picked it and took it. So there's no comparing that to something you buy, no matter how good the quality is, because there's no telling how many days it took to get to your store, and then before you bought it, and then before you got to eat it. So and even my nephew, when he doesn't like strawberries. He's a bread eater. It's amazing. He just the kid's not totally stunted and sickly, but he's not. He seems to be doing well. Anyway, he doesn't eat fruits and veggies, which drives all of us nuts. So his mom got him to try a strawberry, and he was just amazed. He was like, that was really good. And I said, yeah, there's no way, even though that strawberry was a little rinky-dink, didn't look like the big stuff you buy at the store, there's no way those store ones could ever compete with something, even organic, that you just picked off of the plant and ate. And there's nothing fresher than that. It wasn't picked partially ripe and then gassed, or the time it took to get to the store it ripened. It's ripened on the plant, and there's not just nutrition but flavor. So he was amazed. So got him to come out here and pick strawberries while he was here that week. And I had a great time with my niece and nephew and grandkids, and they're here. They're going back tonight. So I was like, oh, I'll have some quiet tomorrow, and then back into the real world again, so I get a little break maybe. And this has become my haven, and I'll make a video about why I need a haven or sanctuary. And I think that's it for this video. I thank you for taking your time, using your valuable time to watch one of my videos, and any comments, suggestions, especially if anything that would make it easier or better or more productive over here, I appreciate it. I still need to put Epsom salt with the tomatoes and probably the other areas. In case you didn't know, young sunflower heads are edible. They're you can fry them up, make a fritter out of the whole thing. Small. There's even varieties that come up small, and they have multiple heads on them instead of one big stalk and a big flower on them. So I'm planning on harvesting some heads that way. So they're all leggy. Oh goodness. And the weeds are having a time of it over there. That's where most of the goat poop with the rain goes into that corner, and then all that compost manure tea comes out over there. So I picked some of that and feed it back to the goats. There was a giant milkweed. I was able to just push it over. I couldn't break it completely. But the weeds are also having a good time of it here. There's a lot of blackberry canes. They're just briars at this point. And of course, jasmine and honeysuckle are all over. And oh yeah, the poison ivy. That's right over there. I salted it many times. Ooh, and now my potatoes are growing over there. I don't want it to. But there's still like that stick that's sticking up, and that one right there. Those are poison ivy. I see it's trying to make a comeback. So I'm gonna get another bag of salt out here and take care of this today. And just need to reroute these. And I'll probably cut those and give that to the goats, because they can eat poison ivy and poison oak and it doesn't bother them. I mean, they could literally eat it and it doesn't bother them. So, and learning plants and stuff, I'm pretty sure this is an amaranth. It's almost like I should go ahead and let this go to seed so I can have the amaranth seeds. And it's a nice grain alternative. It's not a grain, since this is not a grass. Grains are from grass plants: wheat, rye, corn. They're all grasses. Something I've learned. That's poison ivy also, that was salted and killed earlier. But I think I got all the ones that were spread out this way. But this one is definitely making a comeback. It is a pretty plant. I hate that I have to destroy it. I really don't like that. And probably the salt has gone down and is what's messing up that sweet gum over there. And we were doing compost, and there's chicken manure and all sorts of stuff that we don't give to the chickens. Coffee grinds come out here. We're trying to reduce trash, and even though we're probably more ecological than a lot of people, we're still producing a lot of garbage that needs to be hauled away. And we got to find a better alternative for some of this stuff. And I still plan on doing a greenhouse over there for the winter things, but then maybe I need to move that up here, disassemble that and put it up here on this terrace to make it easier on myself to keep it all on one terrace. I still need to, for the new chicken coop, got to do that. I'll put a video up about that soon. So, again, thank you for taking your valuable time and watching this. I hope this is relaxing and you didn't feel that I'm overwhelmed with what I've fallen behind with, even though I am. And realize that may be just a normal course of life for many of us, not just me. I know that a lot of people struggle with this too. And I'm just going to stop whining. I'm not going to whine. I may tell you I'm feeling overwhelmed, but I'm doing this anyway in the future, because it doesn't help. Whining does not help. I can share with you what I'm going through, but whining is a different story, and it's not productive. And I hope you enjoy this and that you be blessed. And I like to see your videos too. Let me know if you got a channel. I've got some people that newly subscribed, and I'm trying to catch up on their channel, and I'm just having to go through and just pick out like their gardening stuff or their chicken stuff, or something that catches my eye that they're doing. Tina's building those quail cages. Like, wow, that's pretty neat looking. And that's something I kind of want to get into, but it's like not this year. As much as I want to, not this year. So, and I still want to do a summer canning kitchen in that greenhouse. And I started cleaning it and getting things organized, but then, if you don't come out here and water when you can, and then it gets hot, so I need to go ahead and get a fan or something put in there, so it's something I can do when it's raining and I can't be outside here, or when it's so hot. It's still in the shade, and with the windows open and the fan going, I should be able to continue working. So it's like I said in other videos, there are more solutions than there are problems, and it's finding the solution that works best for you and your situation and your location and your circumstances in life. So thank you for watching, and may God bless you.